welcome back again with the MPCX. Today we're going to be doing some quantizing and swing essentials. So for those who don't know, I'll just get the MPCX started here. I'm going to be reading it directly from the MPCX Bible and learn with you as we go through. So we're on chapter 5. If you already have the MPCX and you have the MPCX Bible and the tutorial files, you'll be able to follow along. If not, you can still follow along on your MPCX. Just as I read it out to you, you can follow. All right. So it's gonna sound like it's coming from me in first person, but that's just the way the MPCX Bible is written. So it's not always going to follow exactly what you're going to be seeing me do. I'm going to be doing my own version of things. So we'll go back to where we were with the basic drum beat, load that up. So yeah, let's get started. Once you're in here for 10 minutes, you can jump in the chat and chat with the other viewers. That would be great. And supporting me in any way would be amazing. So that way I can upgrade the equipment eventually and get more cameras and make a better production of all this. All right. So let's get going. This tutorial directly continues from the project we were working upon in chapter 4. So if you're starting this chapter with a freshly booted MPC, make sure you load up myfirstproject.xpj from the chapter 5 folder. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I have that chapter 5 folder. Load up my first project. There we go. Okay. We've discussed sequencer time and how we have a resolution of 960 ppqn that can capture performance pretty much as it was played. But sometimes we don't want the MPC to capture our performance exactly. If your timing isn't rock solid, then your performances can sound sloppy, especially when it comes to drums. To help compensate for this, the MPC has a feature called Timing Correct, TC. Timing Correct only allows events to be placed within specified points within a quantized grid. If an event is played outside an acceptable point in the grid, it is simply moved automatically to the nearest quantized point within the grid. Take the example of a timing correct TC value of 1/16. A TC value of 1/16 only allows 16 events to be placed in each bar. For example, in 4/4 music, 4 events per beat. As indicated in the graphic above, let's see. We don't have any drums in here. Okay. Looks like there's nothing in there. Okay, so what they're showing me is when you record a TC of 1/16, the MPC will only let you place events at ticks 0, 240, 480, and 720 of each beat. If you try to play an event at 1.1.187, the MPC will just place that event at the nearest quantized point, 1.1.240. This can automatically fix events that were played with poor timing. However, it can lead to your music sounding somewhat rigid and almost robotic. The beauty of Timing Correct is that there are different time divisions, quantized templates available. Plus, you are free to record some of your performance with Timing Correct on, for example, the main kicks, snare, and hats, and then overdub additional notes with TC turned off to add the more funky sounding notes afterwards, such as ghost snares and kicks. Timing correct can be used at all points in your sequence creation. During a real-time recording, during overdubbing, when manually adding events in the grid, or you can even apply timing correct to an entire track. In main, make sure you have currently selected sequence 4, velocity tweak. Now touch the sequence edit tool, the pencil icon. Here you can select copy sequence. In the resulting pop-up, use the sequence name field to set the name of the copied sequence to timing correct 1-16. Hit do it. This will copy sequence 4 to the blank unused sequence 5 with the new name. In your MPC, go to the grid edit, hold down shift and press the TC to bring up the timing correct screen. Set global timing correct on. Set the time division to 1/16. Make sure type is set to start and events to all. This will tell the MPC that we wanted to align the start, beginning of all events to the nearest quantized point. Hit do it. And the MPC will apply a quantized template to your track where all events are moved into a 1/16 time division grid. Go to main and press play start. I'll turn on my speakers now. We'll get a bit of volume and I'll hit play start to listen to the new tighter version. While it is playing, touch the sequence name to select it and turn the data wheel one click anti-clockwise. Notice how the sequence name changes to next, velocity tweak. This is the basic next sequence functionality. It allows you to line up the next sequence to play while the current sequence is playing back, ensuring the switch occurs without any pause and perfectly in time. Once sequence 4 velocity tweak starts playing, you can line up sequence 5 to play by turning the data wheel one click clockwise or use the plus button. Listen and compare the before and after versions of the drum beat. Go back to the original velocity tweak sequence and copy it again. This time, apply 1/8 time division. Load up my version, timing correct 1-8. Now load up the version timing correct 1-8.sxq. The sequence is now even more rigid and has really stripped down the beat and removed most of the funkiness. Applying swing. Hello everybody, if you're just joining us, we're taking a look at the MPCX and learning how to use it by going through the MPCX Bible. If you've been here over 10 minutes already, jump in the chat and I'll try and check it out, jump in the chat with you and say hello. Drop a dog in there for all my dogs. Thanks for tuning in. Let your friends know if you've got an MPCX or an MPC and you want to follow along, learn a few things with me. I'm here every day, 10 to 11. We'll just keep going right here. We're going to be now applying swing. Alright, so the beat we've been working on so far is considered a straight groove where all the notes we've recorded land exactly within a fixed and, most significantly, equally spaced 1/16 grid. We can, however, obtain a different feel by playing around with the swing parameter, which will allow us to place selected events in between the existing 1/16 or 1/8 notes. Once again, return to the original velocity tweak sequence, sequence 4. And make another copy. Rename this copy Swing 67. Set a time division to 1/16 and events to all. Now set a swing value of 67. Hit do it and compare this new sequence with the timing correct 1/16. that's the 1/8. The 1/16 timing correct. Okay. They were both 1/16, but had no additional swing added. While most of the events are identical, there are small differences. For example, kick events have been moved forward a little. These subtle changes definitely give the beat a slightly more bouncy feel. Now, of course, all of this could be achieved by finger drumming your beat with timing correct off. You would just have to play the beat naturally with that swing in the first place. However, the swing function simply gives everyone the ability to quickly create a bouncy beat without the need to be the world's greatest finger drummer. It's important to realize that timing correct and swing can also be applied during the recording and overdubbing process, and not just after recording. Your most recent timing correct settings are remembered in the TC screen. So if you were to record a sequence now, the MPC will apply both the timing correct and swing template to your live recording. So if you were to hit pad A01 at a sequence time of 001.01.007, the MPC would record that event at the time of the nearest quantized point of 001.01.000. All right. All right. Hello to everyone out there. We're just taking a look at the MPCX, how to quantize. Timing correct. So the timing correct shortcut. To quickly change the timing correct value in grid edit and in main, hold down the note repeat hardware button to reveal a temporary set of buttons at the bottom of the screen. Place when recording. To simultaneously set global timing correct on and to set a specific TC value, tap one of the buttons so it turns white. In the example, TC is now set to 1/16. To set a triplet 1/16 timing correct, press the T button as well. All right. Applying swing with the Q links. Now I know my camera doesn't see very well past here. I will work on getting a better setup, but for now, just know that all of these little dials are the Q links, and there's 16 of them, just like the pads. And if you don't see my hand, I'll try to explain in the corner here what I'm doing. For an even more dynamic way of applying swing, we can use the Q links. Select sequence 6, timing correct 1-8, and make a copy, call it swing Q. I didn't name it properly earlier. I'd get that part of the instructions, so I'm just naming it timing correct 1-8, and okay. All right. going to make a copy and call it swing Q. Okay. Now head over to Menu, Preferences, Sequencer, and at the bottom of the page, check Q-Link Swing Control applies TC settings on release. Now return to Main and hit TC to bring up the timing correct screen. You can do timing correct from the main screen. Yes, okay. Set a time division of 1/8. And return the swing back to the default 50. Finally, set events from all to selected group of events. Press close and head over to grid view. In grid view, hold down the Q-Link button to view all the current Q-Link assignments. I don't have to do that because I've got all the Q-Links displayed on the MPCX. And they describe what it is right above each Q-Link. So this is one of the weird Q-Link pages that assigns vertical Q-Link dial columns to horizontal rows. As you can see, the swing dial is represented by selecting Q-Link Bank 2 Q-Link dial 3. I can see it right here. Second dial from the bottom. This is called Q-Link 7. Just like your pad 7, it'll be Q-Link 7. This is very confusing to remember, which is where the MPCX definitely has a huge advantage with the OLED labels on all of its Q-Links. You can see it says swing right above it. Alright, so if you did previously turn off the sidebar Q-Link pop-up, you can re-enable this from the Q-Link page. Simply select Show Q-Link Status when touched. Back in grid view, press pad A03, the closed hi-hats. And with the default settings, this will automatically select all the pad A03 events on this track. If it doesn't, then hit any one of the other pads and then hit pad A03 again, and it should select them all. Press play start, and while the sequence is playing, grab Q-Link 7 and start turning it clockwise to begin increasing the swing value. The selected events will not swing until you actually release the Q-Link dial. So select, for example, swing 67% and release the dial. At this point, the selected hi-hat events will adjust themselves to give a 67% swing time division you selected. You can continue turning the Q-Link and applying different swing values in real time until you find a nice swing feel to your hats. Remember, we are only swinging the hats while keeping the underlying straight kick and snare pattern untouched. The higher you go, the more bouncy things get, until at 75% it becomes more of a stutter than a swing. The lower settings give a nice subtle amount of bounce. I really like a swing of 56%. Also, remember that you can apply swing to the entire track if you wish. Just select Events All in the TC screen in Main. Adding live feel to a quantized beat. Alright, we're about getting close to the halfway point there. Just want to say hello to everybody that's in here. Any new followers, any new viewers would be appreciated. Stick around for 10 minutes and you can jump in the chat and please chat with the other people. Trying to grow a little community here around people that use the MPCX and want to learn how to use it properly, and want to have the help and support of other people that are doing so as well. So glad if you're here joining us. Hey Annie, thanks for jumping in the chat. Glad you could say hello. So we're gonna keep going here. We're gonna be adding a live feel to a quantized beat. A common recording procedure when making electronic music is to lay down the bulk of a track using quantized templates and then make some careful changes to add more natural feeling groove. Sequence 7. Oh, I guess I renamed mine wrong, so I'm gonna name it Swing 67 just to follow along with what they're doing here and do it correctly. So Swing 67. Here the entire beat was originally recorded using straight 1/16 quantizing and then swung into a 16th time division at 67% swing. Press TC. Let's return the timing correct values back to their default settings. Set global timing correct off. And change swing back to 50 neutral swing. So I'm going to use the Q-Link button to set it back to 50. With global timing correct off, you can now overdub additional events to your sequence and they'll be recorded exactly as you played them. There's no quantized grid moving anything around. For example, you could try adding some ghost snares, which are subtle snare hits that give your beat a bit more groove. To record your ghost snares, hit overdub and play start, and remember to turn off full level. So let's see. Turn off full level. If you make a mistake, either hit undo or you can just manually move or delete the rough events individually afterwards. Okay, so let's give it a shot. We're gonna go overdub and then play start, and then we'll try to play some ghost snares to the beat. Do I want to do that on a new track though? Or just, I guess it's all on track 1, so we're going to just add them right in there, is what I'm getting the impression of. Alright, ready? tried to fix them a little to make it sound more normal, but I added some ghost snares in there. So now we're gonna load up the sequence combo .sxq. Okay, so that's their version of Swing 67 sequence, but this time containing some additional unquantized snare events to add a little more groove. Alright, welcome all. Thank you for joining today. We're here learning about the MPCX. If you're able to share with other people who have an MPCX or just an MPC in general, we can all follow along together, learn a few new things, and have some fun, build a little community. So please share, please support in any way you can. Thank you. Just taking a little sip of coffee, and we're going to get back into this. All right. Now, moving events when TC is not off. We've previously seen that you can manually move events using the select tool, but when we did this previously, global timing correct was set to off. However, if global timing correct is not off, then the MPC will, by default, limit the position to which we can manually move an event. In grid view, hold down the note repeat button and select the time division of 1/16. Now hit the grid settings gear icon at the top right of the screen. The top option allows you to set the snap mode. The default setting is absolute, and it's the one we've used so far. In absolute mode, moving an event will snap the event to the nearest position in the current TC quantized template. Using the select tool, select the kick at time 1/2/801. Which one was the kick again? The kick is A01. Okay, so go back to grid view, select. We selected the kicks, and we're gonna actually just select the one kick at time 1/2/801. I think it's this one here. We'll try and zoom in a little closer on that one so I can select it. There it is. Let me make sure that's the one. 1/2/720. 1/3/240. So no, that's not it. Let's nudge it over. Okay. So it's not even at 801. 1/2/801. we don't have one set to 12801, but we do have one set to whatever this was here, 12720. Okay. This kick is currently at 801 ticks, mine's 720, into the second beat of the first bar, which is outside of the 116 quantized grid. 116 quantized points are at 0, 240, 480, and 720. Is that what mine at? Mine's at 720 already, yeah. Its placement here helps give the beat that almost lazy swing feel. With the snap mode set to the default absolute, drag this kick 2 steps to the left. With absolute snap, the event has moved to a 116 quantized point, 12480. I think that's probably what happened, was I moved it from the 801 to the 720. As soon as I touched it, it automatically snapped there. There's the 480, okay. Now hit play start to hear how it sounds. Hit undo to take the event back to 12801. There. I think that's it now. 12801. That's what happened earlier. I moved it right away by accident. It automatically snapped to the 720. So that's interesting. So we hit undo all the way back to the 12801. Now go back to the grid settings and change snap mode to relative. Now drag the event to the left. This time the event does not move to the normal 116 quantized points of 720, then 480. Instead it moves to 797, 557, and 317. It's not doing that. I don't guess because my finger maybe slips it to 806 right away. It quantizes it to the 806 and then it jumps from there. But I get their point. What's happened with relative snapping, the event still moves in a 1/16th grid, but that entire grid is offset to account for the distance the original event was from the nearest quantized point. Press play start to hear the relative snap, and you should hear that it's retained that lazy feel. Where did I have it? What was it? The 801? Okay. I'm just going to try nudging it to see if it jumps to the correct ones that they were mentioning. $557 and then $317. No, it did $321. $561. $801. It's weird. It's not following exactly as I thought it would, but I must have did something wrong. We'll just put it to the 321 there instead of 317. We'll continue on. Relative snap is good for moving around events that were originally unquantized. This way, by moving them, you will not lose the original groove of those events as they remain relative to the off-grid groove they were originally played with. It's likely that for the majority of grid work, you'll probably find that absolute is the most used setting, and go completely freestyle. To do this, hold down the Don't Snap button at the bottom left of the screen while you drag or nudge an event around. I don't understand. What? It doesn't seem to do it the way it's telling me. Anyway. Hello everybody in the stream. Thank you for joining on Twitch or Facebook or wherever you are. We're just looking at the MPCX, how to use it, going through the MPCX Bible, and learning about quantizing today. Some things I'm trying, I'm not getting it exactly as they're explaining, but I'm getting the okay, I see. I had to just select a new beat after pressing Don't Snap, and then it okay, now I get what they mean. The 4-tick limitation in Grid Edit. Please note the smallest movement increment available in Grid Edit is 4 ticks. If you do the maths for our relative snapping example, you'll spot that the final location is actually 4 ticks out from what the true relative position should be. It should be 321, not 317. I assume this is related to the 4-tick limitation. It's unclear why Akai do not allow single tick moves. Okay, so that's why it was at 321, not the 317, is because of the 4-tick limitation in Grid Edit. Wow, okay. Good to know. Now I'm not getting things wrong. I'm actually doing things correctly here, so let's move on. We got, let's see, about 13 minutes left of the stream. If you can jump in the chat if you've been in here a while, that'd be great. Anybody who is watching, please let your friends know and support in any way you can so that we can improve this this Twitch stream, get better cameras, get a view of my face so you can see who's talking, things like that. All right. So now, erasing events. If you don't like a particular event in the grid, you can easily erase it, and there's 2 ways to do this. directly in the grid. First, if you have the pencil tool selected, just quickly double tap the event you wish to erase. Alternatively, select the eraser tool. With the eraser tool selected, just single tap an event to erase it or drag the tool across a range of events to remove them all. An alternative is to hit the dedicated erase button on your MPC hardware. Oh, it erased everything. So I guess you'd have to know exactly which note you want to delete, at which beat, which bar, in which track, which sequence. And you can delete single notes. Interesting. So I guess if you've got all right, gotta keep going here. The erase screen lets you erase events on the currently selected track across a specific time range. By default, it will cover the entire active range of the current track, but you can change this if you need to. Leave the range as it is, 110 to 310. The second option lets you choose which types of events will be erased. The default is all, which will erase every single event on the track across the chosen time range, which we definitely do not want to do, as this would also erase our kicks and snares. If you wish to only delete specific pads, select the note option. Just hit the pads you wish to erase, hit a pad again to remove it from the list. So hit A03, hit do it, and you'll see that all your A03 hi-hats events have been removed from the sequence. Okay. Erase in real time. You can also erase notes on the fly while you are recording. Hit play start and overdub. Hold down the erase button and then press the hold pad A04, or if this is an open hat event, it will erase the open hat from your sequence. You can also hold down more than one pad if you wish to erase multiple pads. Recording hi-hats with note repeat. Note repeat is a legacy MPC feature that allows you to easily record multiple quantized events in real time and is perfect for recording hi-hat patterns. Press play start in our now hatless sequence and leave it playing in a loop. While it's playing, press and hold down the note repeat button and you'll see a new row of buttons appear at the bottom of your grid. Here you can quickly change the quantized TC setting. Set it to 1/4. Continue to hold down the note repeat and now hold down pad A03. As you can hear, note repeat repeats the same sample at regular 1/4 bar intervals. Change the TC setting to 1/8 and again hold down the note repeat and pad A03. Now the hat is repeated at 1/8 bar intervals, as it was originally before we deleted it. Experiment with the different TC settings. You can also press the 3 button to select the triplet feel. For example, with 3 and 1/16 selected, you'll get a TC of 1/16, 3. Please note that note repeat does not work with TC set to off. If you turn off full level and vary how hard you push down on pad A03, you'll hear the velocity change accordingly, so everything remains fully velocity sensitive in note repeat mode. When you're ready to record, choose any TC setting, press overdub, and your sequence, which should already be playing, will enter overdub mode. Your note repeat hats will now be recorded to your sequence. Remember, you don't have to hold down the note repeat button constantly. You can release it to create additional gaps in your hi-hat pattern. You can also, of course, mix and match by overdubbing your hats using different TC settings within the same track. Load up the sequence note repeat.sqx. First, I'll record a little something. Okay. So we're going to load up the sequence now. Note repeat.sqx. .sxq, sorry. We're getting into the last few minutes of the stream right now. I'm just going to go through this one last thing here today. Tomorrow, if you could load up the note repeat.sxq, and we'll continue on right from this spot here. I'll leave you with a little parting music. Let's see. We'll put on the beat that we had made the other day on Sunday. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for checking it out. Back again tomorrow, 10 to 11 a.m. Invite your friends. If you have an MPCX, if they have an MPC, let them know. We can all learn together and build a little community together. Please support and donate, tips, whatever it is. It all helps to make this channel better. Going to keep growing this stream until it's a good quality. Glad you all could join. Hope you join again tomorrow. And on Sunday, I'll just be playing around, making a beat, having fun. So Sunday's the fun day. Join then too, please. try and raid so I can send the viewers to another room. Never done that before, so let's see if I can figure that out. So there's no raidable channels available for my channel right now, so I'll have to figure that out another day. Glad you all could join though. Getting down to the last minute. Hope you all enjoy tomorrow 10 to 11. Thank you all for being here. You all.